Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's do some amazing and economical paper crafting. Stay tuned. For those of you who have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? On this channel, we do some of the most creative and innovative paper crafting on YouTube. We don't just craft, you learn. You learn techniques, you learn new ways of doing things, you learn simpler ways of doing things, and you learn how to craft for usefulness. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you join this online crafting family. And remember when I said today's project was economical paper crafting? Well, this is truly economical paper crafting because this little Christmas tower is made from one sheet of paper. And why is it economical? Because in this pack, you get 4 sheets of that poster board for $1, and I got this from the Dollar Tree. And like I said, you get 4 sheets, and it is 11 by 14. So if you have 11 by 14 paper, you can do this project and get just as many boxes out of one sheet as I'm about to show you. So what that means is, out of this pack of 4 sheets, you can make 4 tower trios for $1. I use scrap here, and we all have a bunch of scrap. So really, you can make 4 of these. It'll cost you just $1 to make just the white trios, 4 white trios for $1. And then however you choose to decorate it, we'll add a few more pennies. But if you're using scrap, you really are going to make 4 tower trio boxes for less than $2, guys, and that's completely decorated. 4. It does not get any economical than that. Look at it this way. You're going to make 12 boxes. 12 boxes for $1. Let's do it. And here is my 14 by 11 piece of poster board. Now this has the weight of, I would say a medium weight cardstock. It's not a heavyweight, but it's not a lightweight. And it does give you the sturdiness that you need for a tower trio such as this one. So here's how we're going to get 4 boxes out of this. So we'll trim away 6 inches here, and that'll give us a piece that's 6 by 11. And then we'll have this piece over here that's 8 by 11. So let's go ahead and trim away the 6 inches. Okay, so I have trimmed away the 6 inches, and this will be 1 box. Now we have this piece, and we're going to trim this in half on the 11-inch side. So we're going to trim at 5.5, and that's going to give us 2 sizes of 5.5 by 8. I'm going to trim this. Okay, so we have made all of our cuts. We have a 6 by 11. We have 2 5.5 by 8-inch pieces. We are going to start with one of the 5.5 by 8-inch pieces. All right, guys, so on the 8-inch side, we're going to score at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and at 7. Then we'll rotate this, and on the 5 1/2 inch side, we're going to score at 1/4 of an inch, at 2, and at 4. And then we're going to fold and burnish all of our scores. And make sure you get a nice crisp burnishing, because like I said, this is not a lightweight. It does have some heft to it, so you're going to want to make sure that your burnishing is nice and crisp. All right, guys, so once we have all of our burnishing done, we're going to have a very thin flap and then a set of wide panels. That's the top. Then we'll have the section at the bottom that does not have that fold over flap. That is our bottom. So the first thing that we want to do is we have a corner piece there, we have a large rectangle there, and then that little flap piece. We need to remove those all together. And I apologize if it's hard to see on this white paper. It is a very bright white. So all I'm doing is just cutting out what I don't need on this project. So once we have it like this, we're going to go along the bottom and just angle cut and free up all of our tabs. Okay, so once we have all of our tabs freed, let's rotate it. We're going to go up to the second score mark and just drag all the way down to free these tabs. And then once we have these tabs freed, let's go ahead and mock close the box so we can figure out which is the back and which is the front. So I'm going to open this. Wherever the glue flap is, that's the back of your box. And that means that the piece that's on the very back of the box that we'll glue to the glue flap is the portion that will actually end up folding in to close the box. So now that we've identified the back of the box, let's take the piece that's opposite that and just fold it inside, and we're going to glue that down. But this is a little bit larger than I want it to be, so I am going to trim off that flap. Now I can fold it down. I'll take my Reptile adhesive, place some Reptile on here, and get this stuck. Okay, so now that we have that piece folded over, and what that does for us, it simply makes it easier to fold this in. So now that we've got it folded over like this, these are the side flaps. We want to take these two flaps and we're going to reduce them in size. I'm going to move this one out of the way because I don't want to trim it. And now that we've reduced it, we're just going to angle in on these flaps. So now we have this. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and just take off a little sliver right here on this little flap here. That's just going to make it easier for our box to close. And all right, guys, so now we can place glue on that glue flap and glue our box together. So all we're going to do is make sure that we have this score mark when it wraps around over the glue flap. Everything is still aligned. When it is, we'll go ahead and just smooth out that glue. And we have a sweet flat fold box. You can make these up and just put it away, pull it out when you need it. So now all we need to do is go ahead and glue the box shut. So this is the back. I'll push in these two side pieces. Then I'll place some glue on that back flap. And then I'm going to place some glue on this piece and I'll fold it over. And now I'm just going to take my finger and smooth it out because this is such a small little box. And so now we should just be able to close our sweet little box, and we can. So now we have box number 1. I'm not going to do any decorating yet. We're going to go ahead and make our boxes, then we'll decorate. So I'm going to set that one to the side, and we are going to make box number 2. And for box number 2, we need our second piece of 8 by 5.5 inch paper. Okay guys, so for box number 2, on the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score this at 3/4 of an inch. Then we're going to rotate it to the opposite 5.5 inch side, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. and at 1 1/2. Then we're going to turn it to the 8-inch side. We're going to score this at 2 1/2, at 3 1/2, at 6, and at 7. And then again, we are going to fold and burnish all of our scores. And guys, make sure that you get in there and get those scores nice and tight. All right, guys, so now that we have all of our scores folded and burnished, we are going to have a glue flap here. So you'll have two 1-inch flaps. The one that's on the end is your glue flap. So we need to get rid of that corner piece. Then we'll have this rectangle and then that rectangle. We need to get rid of those completely. So I am going to go ahead and remove those. Okay, so once we remove this, this is our glue flap. So we are going to go along the bottom and just create our tabs. So I am going to just, everywhere I have a score mark, that's a tab. So I am going to just free those up. Okay, so just like on the other one, we're going to rotate it, and now we need to free all of these tabs. So we are going to go to the second score mark and drag down. And just like before, we are going to put this box together. So here is my glue flap here that will attach to this back flap. So that means this will fold in, and that means that this piece we can fold in here. So I am just going to smooth that out just a little bit. Place my glue on this, and we're going to get this stuck down. And it'll look just like this. So now we're going to take these two narrow flaps here, and let's just reduce them in size. And how much you reduce really is up to you. So now that we have it like this, I'm going to go ahead and just angle in on these tabs. And then I'll come in and I will just angle in on the flap that'll be folded. And it really is a very slight angle that I'm doing. Just enough so that when I fold it, it doesn't resist. And if you happen to have a corner rounder, that's perfect for this also. So now we are going to take the glue flap, place our glue, and now we can go ahead and fold box number 2. So again, you want to make sure that the score mark stays in the same place when you go around that glue flap. So I am going to take my bone folder or my spatula, get everything smooth out. And now, just like before, we can put our box together. So I'm going to lift this one because I want to go ahead and tuck in these two little tabs. I'm going to place just a little bit of glue on them. Then I'll fold this piece in, and then I'll take some glue, place it on that front tab, and I'll fold it. Now I'm going to stand it up just to make sure that I have it nice and squared. And now I can close this box, and we now have box number 2 for our tower. And so now we are going to go ahead and make box number 3. We are rocking and rolling now. So for box number 3 on the 11-inch side, we're going to score this at 1, at 5, at at 6, and at 10. Then we're going to rotate it to the 6-inch side, and we're going to score at 1. And then let's flip it and rotate it to the opposite side and score at 1. And again, we are going to do a very crisp burnishing of all of our folds. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a middle tab right here, and we're going to go ahead and just cut that out to free up those tabs. We're not removing it, we're just freeing that tab on both sides. Okay, so once we have freed up that tab, we'll come to this end. We'll have 2 corner tabs that we just need to free. So I am going to cut down in this direction, and we'll be able to put our box together just like this. But I'm going to turn it around on the opposite end and do the same thing. So we're going to cut straight down and free that tab. Now we'll take our glue, and we are going to place our glue on our tabs. All right, guys, so then we're going to take these tabs and add glue to them. And we'll close our box here. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to place glue on these tabs. And both ends are the same, so it really doesn't matter which end you join it to. So I am just going to join it and close my box. And what you're going to have is something that looks like a little pizza box. That's probably the best way to describe it. So once we have our box put together, all we need to do is take it and close it. So now we've got our tower made from one 11 by 14 inch piece of paper. Now we're going to do some very quick decorating to this, and we'll be done with this project. All right, guys, so we are going to start decorating our beautiful tower trio, and we're going to start with the little box. So we need to cut 4 pieces that are 1.5 by 1 3/4 to put on the sides. So I've already cut those, and I am just going to add some tape, and we're going to put these down. You could actually leave this white and just decorate it with some wonderful ribbon. Big, wide red or green ribbon would be fantastic for this. So all I'm doing is taking my squares, putting them down, just giving my box here a little bit of cuteness. And then on the top, we need a 1.5 by 1.5 inch square. So I have that cut here. I am going to take that and just put it down. So on our sides, we have 1.5 by 1 3/4, and on the top 1.5 by 1.5. All right, guys, so for box number 2, we need a piece that measures 3 by 2 1/4. So I am just going to place some tape on that piece, and I will place this down. Then on 2 sides, we need 2 pieces that measure 3 by 3/4 inch. So I am just going to place that down. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So that is 3 by 3/4 inch. We'll place it down. So then on the smaller end, we have 2 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch. So I'm going to place that down right there. And like I said, you don't have to add the side pieces. You could very easily just put that ribbon on and have something really cute. But this is turning out to be adorbs, so all we have to do now is our large box. Okay guys, and on our final box, we need one piece that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to place that down. Then we need 4 pieces that measure 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to place that down. So again, that's 4 pieces that measure 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I have already added my tape, and I am just placing those down. And so there, we've got our tape on all of our boxes, and now we have this really handsome tower trio. You can put all types of goodies in this. You can make this a terrific Secret Santa gift, however you choose to do it. Here is, for me, a very easy way of doing my tower closure. So I am going to take my ribbon, place it around on the top, then I'll flip it over. And I'm not going to tie it because it'll cause it to sit up just a little bit. I am going to take a little bit of my tape, get that ribbon stuck in that tape, and I'll do the same thing over here. So I am just going to lay down a little bit of tape, get that ribbon stuck in the tape, and now I can trim off just a little bit so we can make sure that that's stuck. And now we've got one section of this stuck. Now I'll take the second section and I'm going to run it in the opposite direction and do the same thing on the bottom. So I am going to take my tape and just get this stuck down just like that. And then I'll take this piece, bring it around really, really tight. And this time I'm going to close it with just a little bit of my tape. Okay, so now that I have my tape on, I am just going to wrap this piece around, come across the top, real nice and tight, because I want everything to stay put. And then when I bring it around here, I'll bring it through that tape and cut off my excess. And now I have this awesome tower, and it's cute on all 4 sides. Now I'm just going to tie myself a little bit of a bow just to close this off. So I am going to take this piece and just run it underneath these pieces here, and I'll bring this up just like that. And now I'm going to tie a bow here at the top. Now isn't that cute? So easy, so cute. And just like on the first one, guys, I'm going to take this cute Santa ornament and just place him right there on that ribbon. And now you have an awesome, absolutely awesome tower trio. This is perfect for any season, any reason, any gender. I have this all decked out for Christmas, but this is a great anytime gift. You don't have to have a holiday to surprise someone with all of this cuteness and this goodness. Y'all have some gorgeous papers out there. Y'all have some awesome embellishments. Pull them out and brighten someone's day by making something so simple for them and just make them smile. And like I said, from that one pack, we can make 4 sets of these. How economical is that? That is what I call some thrifty crafting, but look at that end result. We have all of this goodness. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.